Hello, this is Leisha with Journey to Greatness, 365 days to your best year yet. Yesterday we were talking about dealing with circumstances that are unfavorable and dealing with people that we may not enjoy to engage with and situations that are troubling. And today I want to continue with that topic because I just found out that 3 dear friends of mine, peers, were released from their positions. So there were more store closures with my company. Fortunately, my store was not one of them. But sadly, 3 more stores were closed. And according to my company, that's the last of the closures until the end of the year, which ends next March 31st. My company is in a bankruptcy Chapter 13, and it's a very well-established company, but coronavirus hit it pretty bad because the company that I work for is international, and they were hit very hard in Europe and in North America. So they had to cut out, they had to close stores. With that said, and with my peers in mind, and one of them being a friend, I want to talk about observing the storm, because we all go through rough storms, whether it be illness or losing a job, losing a child, going through a divorce, having a fight with a family member. The list goes on and on. We all know about the rough storms we can go through in life. And while we can choose to fight the storm, there's another approach that I would like to offer. One that is especially useful when you're dealing with emotional pain, and fear can be one of the worst. I'll tell you what it is. And it's hard to do when you're reeling with fear and anxiety and stress about where your next paycheck's going to come from, or a terminal diagnosis, or whatever it may be. It's that we can simply observe. For thousands of years, meditators from the East have been practicing the art and the science of non-attachment meditation. Think about this for just a second. You know, a fish can be in the depths of the water, and a hurricane can be swirling around the surface of those waters. But that fish can look up in the calmness of where they are in that water and just observe the hurricane above them. And we can do that too. We can. We can train our mind to take a metaphorical step back and merely watch that passionate storm that's raging within us. You know, in most situations, most of us can observe our own dramas in the same way that we observe a drama unfolding on stage. We can have compassion and curiosity about ourselves, about the way we're feeling and the way we're thinking. But we can only do that. We can only do that if we play the part of the observer. That's why I often talk about meditation, mindfulness meditation. I was never a meditator until the past maybe 2 years. I am consistently meditating. Every day I make a practice of doing that. And it's because I know that those storms are going to come up. And it truly helps me build that mindfulness muscle so that I can step back and not be reactive. Because for many, many years I was extraordinarily reactive. But I can step back in that storm, and I can watch my reactions that are habitual. I can watch my reactions that are negative. And then I have that freedom that all of us have. And that freedom is that right to choose, that freedom to choose how I'm going to respond. But we can't use that freedom if we're not aware of where we're at. And usually it's when we're not aware of where we're at, it's because our emotions have run amok, because they've taken control of this thing called our life. And we no longer have the ability to set our course. So I, as always, highly recommend meditation as a way of taking control. During the good times, for sure, but most certainly building that skill, that mental muscle, so that we can maneuver through the tough times. Another thing you can do if you find yourself in a state of crisis, whatever that crisis might be, is to remove all negativity, all of it. One way to protect yourself from the negative influence of the world at large is to abstain from them. I love Jack Canfield, and I remember reading something he wrote. I don't remember if it was in one of his books or in something I saw online, but he forbid any negativity in any of his working offices, anywhere. It was not allowed. And I love that idea, and I have implemented it into my own working environment. Negativity and gossip, no, it's not allowed. Honest conversations, jugular conversations, yes, but with courage and honesty and compassion. You see, if you don't watch the news and you don't read the newspapers, after a while you will begin to see how we are all fed one-sided, negative, heavy news that's on steroids. None of it is designed to really help us. Yes, it informs, but it informs in a very slanted way. And it doesn't matter if it's Fox. Really, I'm not kidding. I listen to both. I have listened to both. Fox or CNN or MSNBC. It's slanted. And it's not there to help our well-being. It's not there to help our mindset, which is the most important thing that each of us have. So if you want to go in a downward spiral, watch the news, especially now. I'd stay away from it. You also need to watch out for your friends. The people around you will share their views of the world with you. And sometimes it's not easy to separate their view from your view. You want to step up from the world of outside cause and turn into the world of attraction based on energy. And I'm not talking about that magical thing where you sit down and you manifest, and then it's magically going to fall into your lap. Absolutely not that. So let's just get that clear right away. It's putting your focus on what you do want instead of what you don't want. If you are concerned about your job, if you're concerned about your results at work, for example, instead of being frightened, instead of worrying about what the worst case scenario will be if things continue to go poorly, what can you do right now today? What can you focus on that will start to change that trajectory that you're on? We all have control. The real problem comes up when we have not paid attention, when we have not been aware, and we've let things get so out of control because of a lack of awareness. Things have fallen apart so badly that we've got chaos all around us because we just haven't been paying attention. We've been lazy, or we just haven't been aware, like I said. And then we have to not only clean up the mess, but do a good job at the same time. We have double duty. So being aware of what's going on inside of us and the behaviors that we're having is key to success and key to a happy existence, regardless of what's going on around you. So one way to get focused on the right energy is to remind yourself that the world in general is on the level of complaining, whether it be the news or a lot of your friends or the people that are around you. You have to go within and you have to build that muscle within your own mind. And you do that through mindfulness meditation so that you are aware, so that you can make better choices, so that those outside influences, whether it's losing a job or becoming ill, or having a myriad of other things that can happen that can be very upsetting to devastating. You build that mental muscle so that you can cope and go beyond coping, so that you can find the silver lining, so that you direct yourself to find the silver lining, feel the grief, feel the sadness, but then move on immediately and start working toward a new beginning. I hope I've given you something to think about. This podcast is dedicated to my 3 partners in crime that were working with me. They're talented managers. They will find something else. But sometimes life is just not fair. It's just not fair. And that's okay. Because if you're strong and you know that you're good and you know that you've built your skills and you know that you have talent to offer, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. But you'll get to your new beginning quicker if you don't feel sorry for yourself too much and start getting on the solution level. And the only way you can do that is to become the observer of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and start creating a new plan quickly. So let's get into our mindfulness meditation. Today we're going to talk about a beach reflection, because I love going to the beach and I love walking along the beach. And we're going to imagine that we are walking on a beach. So as we begin, we're going to be sitting in a nice dignified way. And we're going to close our eyes and we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and then release through the mouth. So let's go ahead and do that. Deep breath in and out through the mouth. Deep breath in and out through your mouth. Deep breath in and out through your mouth. As you continue breathing, I want you to imagine that you are walking on a beach. Picture it in your head and think about what it looks like. What color is the sand? Is there anything or anyone on the beach? What does the ocean look like? Are there a lot of waves, or is the water fairly still? Now, gently direct your focus to what it feels like. What does it feel like to be in that environment? Is the air cool, or is it warm? Is there a cool, misty mist that's encapsulating your body? Little droplets of water in the air. Is it windy? Can you feel the sand on your feet? Are you barefoot stepping into the sand? Is it kind of wriggling between your toes? How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel calm? Are you happy? Or are you feeling something else? Does it have any particular smells or sounds? Do you hear seagulls crying up above? Do you see fish jumping in the water? Try to notice everything about the scene that you can. Now, when you are finished, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now you can slowly open your eyes. I hope if you're having challenges right now, that you will consider mindfulness meditation. In the beginning, if you haven't done it, it seems like it could be a waste of time. It's frustrating because you just see a waterfall and hear a waterfall of conversations going on in your mind that makes you feel like you're going nuts. But that's precisely what you want to see. You want to see it, you want to observe it, and you don't want to judge it. You want to acknowledge that the feelings that you're feeling, the thoughts that you're having exist, because once you are aware of them, you can let them float by like a cloud, just floating over your head. And then you get to a point where you can choose those thoughts or reject them, because a lot of them are false. And then you get into a phase where you're actually able to stop or soothe the thoughts, to calm the mind. And once you're able to calm the mind through deep breathing and focus, that's when you're able to take the control back and set yourself on a trajectory, because action matters, but on a trajectory of action that's going to help you get to where you're wanting to put your focus, whatever that outcome may be. I hope I've given you something to think about today. People, COVID is definitely dying down. People are getting their vaccinations. Things are settling down for a lot of people. And there's even a sense of jubilation, because I'm dealing with the public daily. And people are excited. They're happy to see this coming to an end. But there's still a lot of fallout. And there's a lot of people struggling. And the crises just keep coming in waves. Not as frequently as they were 6 months ago, but they're still coming. And if you look at it on a global level, it's happening. The waves are still crashing at a very rapid pace if you go to India or some of these other countries. So in the United States, things are simmering down. Praise the Lord. Be bold, be brave, and always, always be your authentic self. Until we meet again, God bless you and your family.